Since 1938, the Jizhong Plain in northern China had come under repeated large-scale offensives by Japanese forces invading the country. Lying deep in the heart of the plain, Hejian County, where Qi Hui village is located, was in grave danger. In response, the Communist Party of China's leadership dispatched the 120th Division of the 8th Route Army to reinforce the region.
Facing a better-equipped, semi-mechanized enemy, the Chinese 8th Route Army was in urgent need of a morale-boosting victory. That victory came here in the Battle of Qi Hui. Today, 86 years later, the village of Qi Hui remains, and so does this ancient pagoda tree, still scarred by bullet holes, silent witnesses to a hard-won battle.
The commander of the 120th Division was He Long, a seasoned general who would later be named a Marshal of the People's Republic of China. At the time, he led one of the most experienced and battle-tested units of the Chinese resistance. On April 22, 1939, more than 800 elite Japanese troops advanced deep into Qi Hui village in a surprise attack, but they were unaware that over 8,000 Chinese soldiers led by He Long were waiting for them. Japanese forces launched a fierce assault on the village, but the 8th Route Army held their ground, using the village's natural layout to their advantage.
When they came within 50 meters, our light and heavy weapons opened fire all at once. Locals said it sounded like a storm, a sudden roar. The Japanese were caught completely off guard.
Fighting on flatland posed new challenges to the 8th Route Army due to the lack of natural cover, but He Long determined that villages could serve as fortified positions. Before the battle began, troops and local residents carved firing holes into walls, connected homes through internal passageways, and cleared rooftops for movement. Flatland warfare was, in theory, advantageous to the Japanese, but the 8th Route Army and the villagers built what the enemy couldn't have seen: invisible mountains.
There were no hills, no cover, but even on the most exposed battlefield, the village and the people here became the shield. Their wisdom, unity, and sheer resolve turned flatland into a fortress.
Success depends on the right time, the right place, and the right people. In this battle, the local villagers stood with the 8th Route Army. They brought bricks, timber, whatever they could, to help build fortifications. One key element to victory was the people's full support.
As the battle dragged on, the Japanese grew desperate. Unable to break through, they set fire to homes and, in violation of the Geneva Conventions, launched poison gas attacks.
According to international conventions, poison gas was strictly banned. No side was allowed to use it. But the Japanese were ruthless. They played dirty and did whatever it took to win.
The Chinese troops stood firm, covering their faces with wet towels and pressing on. They had no reason to retreat. With overwhelming numbers, local villagers' support, and familiarity with the terrain, they held the upper hand. It's been proven time and again, whether in mountains, plains, cities, or villages, China's strength came from its people. Every invading force would find itself mired in a vast sea of people's war, and eventually, they would be defeated. By April 25th, after 3 days of fierce combat, over 700 Japanese soldiers were killed. It was the first major victory on flatland during the protracted war.
The battle marked a turning point from guerrilla to positional warfare. In the past, we targeted scattered enemy units. This was the first time we eliminated Japanese forces in a large-scale and coordinated manner.
China was the first to enter the fight against fascist aggression in Asia. It endured the longest combat, tied down massive enemy forces, and made tremendous sacrifices during World War II. The Battle of Qi Hui became a textbook example of warfares on the flatlands, in a shining moment during the Chinese people's war of resistance against Japanese aggression. 戴凯一 CGTN 齐汇 Village, Hebei Province.